UPDF's agricultural projects at Kabamba contribute to Uganda's food security. By adopting modern farming techniques and technologies, the UPDF aims to improve livelihood of Ugandan citizens.
Thank you, viewers. I'm Major General Sam Kiwanuka, the coordinator of production in UPDF. Production as the department, we can think about it up to 1986 when UPDF or NRM came into power. We are mandated by the Constitution of Uganda as UPDF to be a production army. We started on well. We had some productive activities under the chieftaincy up to 1992 when the performance was wanting because of some mistakes within the directorate, until when I was appointed in 2000 August as the new chief. By then it has gone to the level of a chieftaincy. I was appointed as the chief of production and welfare, purposely to revamp it. I took over the office with the intention or its objective to see that we can produce food for the army, stabilize the price of food in the country, make sure that we look into the welfare of our troops through farming, and to make sure that we open up several funds for the army so that we can be self-sustaining. Our performance in the 6 farms depends on the size. We have Kabamba, which is 5,225 in terms of acreage. That is 3,200 like this season, which have been active. Active, I mean, where we have planted the maize. We have another farm which is active, or which has been active this season, is Changwali with 1,800 acres, and another farm that is Bihanga. So we are looking at a figure of 5,200 acres and expecting about 8 million kilograms of maize. Initially we took on sorghum, we took on soya, and some beans. Like Kabamba, we have some beans and some peanuts, but our emphasis is on beans and maize. Maize is doing well. We gave up with sorghum because of the market, and then also we normally take on soya when we move to the eastern part of Uganda, that is Kata, Bulambuli, where we have another farm.
The UPDF's agricultural projects also provide economic benefits to local communities and contribute to the country's food security and economic growth.
The army took a decision after looking at a number of issues. All over the world, the safety of food of an institution like the army must be grown by itself, not leaving out the issue of being a sustaining institution. 2, creating jobs and having our veterans who have been in the army. When they leave the army, I normally give them land and they venture into agriculture. Another area we had to look at to stabilize the price of food in the country, because we have the land as one of the factors of production. Having grown a lot of maize, automatically the price had to stabilize, and we have achieved it. In the future, in time, we are looking at the exportation of maize grains. There are countries like last season, Zambia, South Africa had wanted the grains, but we didn't have the food. But every year, every season, we are expanding the productivity of what we grow. So there is a lot of achievement being scored, and by the end of the day, we are looking at being a self-sustaining institution, UPDF, in terms of funding. In terms of funding, we can have other countries. You find that the funding of that ministry is about 60, 70. We can start small, but we shouldn't expect all the funds to come from the Ministry of Finance. As an institution, as an army, we can also create some funds for our own budget.
Without fertilizers, Uganda can have crops. Take an example of the banana plants you are seeing here. How much do you put in fertilizers? 0. How often do you irrigate the plants? Never. But you are going to eat matoke. So, this is, I think the Bible didn't know the right word or the best location for the word promised land. This is the promised land, really, where you have honey, where you have milk, you have matoke, with less effort. So if we tap into that, why can't we really run away from poverty? It's only the price fluctuation that may disturb them, but in general, they have made an achievement. So why did I tell you about Maganjo? Uganda is still lucky that despite the outcome of COVID inconvenience globally, we still have food.
It is normally big, it must be big, it's longer period. So veterans, young na wasukuru, it's a way of mobilizing you to find na nyinyi, and so these guys have responded positively. Wanataka kazi yao, and those who had made mistakes, ambao walikuwa wamefanya makosa, now in terms of financial management, wamejifunza. They have learned a lot and they have changed. Wamebadilika kabisa and they look good. Ukiangalia hata kwa macho. So that is a very achievement, and I want to assure the veterans that the army leadership, because we work together, really they are very, very proud, and they proud of you, and they are looking forward to support the veterans. I command land in the army in terms of its security, in case it is handed over to me. Normally it is handed over to me by Major General Mugume, who is the chairman and board. He verifies the land, and they say that land has its right documents. The good thing that the CDF now, he normally tells me I give land to veterans, and I'm doing it. And I will continue getting the land, and I hand, or I give you, or I welcome you, and we work together. And that's the only way, because it's one of the business anyone can do. 6 billion population all over the world every day. They have to open up their mouths purposely for eating.
Major General Francis Takira, Deputy Commander Land Forces, has praised the UPDF Chieftaincy of Production and Welfare for their efforts in realizing the Commander-in-Chief's vision of a modern army.
I'm so happy for the projects I've seen. Even the tomatoes can buy you a vehicle. Yes. They can buy you a vehicle and you live comfortable life. Just an acre to give you above 20 million. How many acres do we have in our home areas? How much have we benefited from those pieces of land? Lakini unakuta watu wanakatana ni mapanga sijui yangu ilikuwa inapita hapa. If you use it collectively, do something tangible, you will get better money. Go and buy your own. This one remains as a springboard. Now, what if this farm was partitioned? Would we get the same results now? No. But because it's together, all the efforts are geared towards that, progress is there and it's visible. I'm happy that on the first day of UPDF engagement in this agriculture project, we overtook prisons, which used to be the biggest farmer of maize for centuries. Because I think even before independence, prisons was there by the Bazungu. But for the first time, our production just overtook the prisons department. So right now, I think this farm competes with the whole of prisons countrywide. So we have those additionals, and really, if there is no love, production of this nature can never be seen. Because you will be thinking of I've been in this, I've been there, I've been in South Sudan. Now this is my time to eat. You eat when you are leaving your workplace. Whatever you ate during that time is enough. This is the time to work for the nation, and you go home an honorable human being.
Major General Takira made these remarks at Kabamba during the official launch of the post-harvest season, highlighting the importance of innovative farming practices and mechanization in enhancing productivity and efficiency.
To appreciate the efforts of this team and all other production farms of the UPDF for the job well done. And maybe, I don't know if I have permission, still on behalf of the army leadership, to declare this season a very successful one, and therefore bless you to get your harvest according to your plans for the project.
Major General Sam Kiwanuka, the Chief of Production and Welfare, led the Deputy Land Forces Commander, Major General Francis Takira, on a guided tour of Kabamba Chieftaincy Farm. Major General Francis Takira represented the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, at the post-harvest official launch.
Agriculture is one of the easiest business one can do. First of all, like in my department, I got a grant. When I got a grant, I took on from the land I had, and I cleared the land. And having cleared the land, you find that now in agriculture or on these farms, we don't spend a lot, because the initial funding was clearing the bush, which we did clearing up to the level of smart farming. Smart farming is doing the grabbing and remove everything so that you can use machines, that is commercial mechanized farming, where we have reached, and that's what we are using. We use tractors, plowing, harrowing, planting, weeding, and then we go on to apply combined harvesters. That's what we are looking at, and that's what is mechanized commercial farming. Now, what we are looking at is the output. We are looking at the output. How much do we put in and how much do we get out? That is the stage where we're putting a lot of emphasis. And we are being helped by the agronomists who are soldiers. These soldiers who are agronomists, they are paid by our ministry. So you find that we can be self-sustaining, because also the expenditure we incur is not all that big. Being a soldier paid by the UPDF, and they are on UPDF scale because they are professionals. We plant maize because UPDF, the food we take on or we eat, 90% is maize. Two, when you look at the Mubende, Kabamba is in Mubende district. Mubende or Kabamba, maize do well, mainly in season B. That is the season we are in, because we are moving towards harvesting. That season of September, it's a long season with a lot of rain, and that's why we normally apply or grow maize, which is the main food for the army, maize. Other areas we can do well with the beans, but still we don't take a lot of maize. So that's why you find that we take on maize, because it's the food eaten by the army. And when you go to the output, expectation of Kabamba, as the Kabamba we have done well. We are looking at 3,200 acres with an average of 15 bags per acre, which is almost going to be about 4.7 million kilograms of maize. It will be wonderful, because we last got the other 23, 24B, we got 3.8, which wasn't bad. But still, with the soils of Uganda, 4 million, 4.5 and above, it's just wonderful, and it's okay. And we are likely to get the million kilograms, 4.5 million kilograms. Being a big area, you are right, it's big. I've told you, it's a commercial mechanized farming. We lease tractors, they do the plowing up to the level of weeding. Weeding, we do spray with metrazine. We spray with metrazine with companies which we gave the job of plowing, planting, and weeding. Then the few, I have about 100 agronomists here. Their duty is to supervise what the farms, the companies which are doing the job do. So the duty of the soldiers is just to supervise what they are supposed to be doing, not physical participation in the exercise. We lease on grounds that it is not cost effective to see that we own our own trucks. We have some few trucks, purposely for administrative matters, water correction, something like that. But the number of tractors do the number of tractors we have for administrative matters, and we get companies which participate in other activities.
Major General Sam Kiwanuka, the Chief of Production and Welfare, led the Deputy Land Forces Commander, Major General Francis Takira, on a guided tour of Kabamba Chieftaincy Farm. Major General Francis Takira represented the Chief of Defence Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, at the post-harvest official launch.
Farming has stages. This is almost the last phase, post-harvesting and handling. We are going to lease combined harvesters. We normally get combined harvesters from our friends in Kenya. They're already in Nakasongola. For us, we put timelines. Our harvest starts on 10th February, and what we need is the combined harvesters. We need the gunny bags, and we put the maize in the dryer, or we dry the maize. That is the phase. Then staking, and then we load the maize to Nakasongola. That's where we take normally our maize. Nakasongola to Kapeka, not Nakasongola. That is neck. And then they mill and produce food to all our troops, to various formations. I am looking at 3.8, which is not bad, and I have performed well. It's 3 million kilograms. That's about 3,800 tons.
The two decorated generals, Major General Sam Kiwanuka and Major General Francis Takira, embarked on a comprehensive tour of the entire UPDF farm at Kabamba. The tour provided a unique opportunity for the generals to assess the farm's operations and identify areas for further improvement.
The most challenges we have faced is lack of machinery, infrastructure. When you look at this farm, it has a distance of 31 kilometers. Putting up 31 kilometers, it's not a joke. You need money. We have bridges. We had to work on the bridges. So machinery has been one of the challenging factor. Another one was human resource. Human resource, we have managed to get some agronomists recruited in the army, which is being achieved now. Then another problem we face here, it is the irrigation. Irrigation system is very poor in the area, and Kabamba is in the corridor where it is ever dry. So irrigation, but arrangements are being made to make sure that we establish farms within the valleys at different points of the farm. Those are another one which goes to the district of Mubende is the rural electrification program. We are working with the district to access power. Still another problem has been storage. Storage is not easy because this is a huge tonnage of maize. We need storage. We are using cribs. They may not be enough this season, but good enough. We store in the cribs. At the same time, we load it to the trucks to Kapeka. So those are the ones: cribs, that is storage, machinery, the rain pattern, and the rural electrification program.
The launch of the post-harvest season at Kabamba Chieftaincy marked a significant milestone in the UPDF's efforts to promote agricultural development and self-sufficiency.
The future plan is to minimize the acreage. We are looking at the input and output. We must make sure that the input and the output is given priority, so that when you plant an acre, at least you can get 20 bags in an acre. That will show that we are doing well. You know, the bigger the acreage, the challenges you face in terms of management, and you may not perform well. So we are looking at having a smaller area, Kabamba, 1,000 acres, and the rest we can give it to outgrowers. Outgrowers, we agree at their contribution, and then we know how much they will contribute, but advised and monitored by our agronomist. That is our main future plan. That one goes across to all my farms. That is Kachomia, that is Changwali, Nakasongola, Kata, and even outgrowers come in, work with us, but we can stay with a small area we can handle to give us good yields. The way you saw the magnitude of the acreage, you need as a priority roads so that at least you can easily transport the maize. The method being used is to give out tenders to various farms. We advertise and we give companies. They come, they bid, they win, and they do the grading or the opening of the roads. It's not a one-man show. Government procedure, because this is government money. We advertise, people come bid, and then the winner takes the day. That's how we have been handling it since the beginning of the program. This season from September to January, normally we have a lot of rains. We have a lot of water. Then that's why we take on maize. Then from March, it's a short period, March up to May, just 2 months. Normally, that's why we take on beans. But we have been promised by His Excellency the President when he came to Kabamba to make arrangements so that we can access to and get water to Katonga. Katonga is not very far here, but we can still use dams, construct dams and carry out irrigation because it's very important and we need food. And to get food, we must be 24/7 in terms of farming for the army. We have created jobs. We buy their maize as per the open market, so they love the project. We have worked on quite a number of infrastructure in the area. Road construction. This farm is deep in the jungle, but the roads start from areas like Asambia, and we construct the roads from such trading centers up to our farm. Same to the rural electrification program of power. We can't leave those areas where the civilians are. We have other programs with them. Improve on their education sector, putting up schools. We have constructed playgrounds. We have formed teams. We saw games. We are together. We work with them in sports and games. So also that gives us a very good rapport with the population. And it has made us being loved by the population surrounding us, not forgetting buying their produce all the time.
The UPDF's agricultural projects also provide economic benefits to local communities and contribute to the country's food security and economic growth.
It is mechanization, it's paramount, and research and development. Research and development is very important. We need to do a lot of research in order to keep the department going on and increase the human resource. That one we can manage. We are recruiting more professionals in the army, mainly the sector of these younger boys, the agronomists. Still we can give it a priority. I think that one can allow us to prosper for some good time.
The generals were impressed by the farm's productivity and efficiency, which is a testament to the UPDF's commitment to innovation and self-sufficiency, underscoring the Army's dedication to excellence in all aspects of its operations.